Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to another Last Epoch dev stream. As usual, I'm your host, Mike. Hello. Glad to be back, glad to be here. Having some fun. We're gonna start off, we're gonna grab some prophecies right off the bat. Just gonna snag a few of these. We're gonna do them pretty willy-nilly. We're looking for some unique chest and helmet. Not even gonna look and see what they are. We're just grabbing them. Exalted one's good for slamming into it as well. What's everybody doing here? Here's a mess. Oh no, it's okay. If this is your first time here, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out. Please put any questions you have in chat at Last Epoch Game or at Last Epoch on YouTube. I'll do my best to answer as many of them as I can. We'll have some fun playing some Last Epoch while we're doing it. All the streaming stuff goes to charity. Still doing Child's Play. We've been doing a lot of Child's Play lately. We like them. I think that's about it. About all the housekeeping. Oh, all right, that's good. Let's get back in action. We're just farming. We've got this we're gonna get rid of eventually. This is what I want to do because it's just a regular blessing. Alright. Got our army rolling. I've got didn't make many changes really. I did pick up some sweet bases that I'm looking for exalteds for now. So we're starting to make some progress on the gearing stuff. We're struggling a little bit at 300 corruption, but we'll get there. All right. Hi Mike, is there going to be a focus on reworking a mastery / class next season? Any chance we get to know which one? We are, as usual, focusing a little bit on specific masteries for next season. I can't tell you exactly which one will be like have the most stuff coming to it right now. But I can say that the main way we're looking to add new stuff to the game right now for individual classes and masteries is focused around new abilities. And there's certain masteries that have fewer abilities than others, and those will be the ones that we're primarily looking at initially. So if there's Rogue, Blade Dancer, Shaman, Paladin. Rogue, Blade Dancer, Shaman, Paladin. I do this every time and I'm like, I think that's all of them. Maybe there's more. Yeah, I think that's it. Would be probably the most likely focuses from a new skill standpoint. You know, there'll be items and passive updates and all that sort of stuff that happen every season to every class anyways, so. I mean, still better. We'll take a look at the stash after this already, eh? We'll take a look at the stash after this and see what exalted specifically we're looking at. I've got gloves, relic, chest, helmet, weapon, ring that are like all ready with LP for a nice exalted to slam into them. It's just marginal upgrades, but you know, nice. When can I get a snazzy LE polo like that? I mean, I don't know. I had to work pretty hard for this one. We still don't have any physical merch progress at the moment, unfortunately, but I'm really hoping that that's going to make some progress. I got no information for you. I'm sorry. We are flush with lizards right now. Some idols. What's this? No, I don't care about that. It's also a 11th hour games, Polo. I do quite like it though. Next question here. Hello, Mike. Please play more controller. Thanks. I know who wrote Medic. Yep. Can tell who it was before even finish reading it. Yeah. Probably won't play much more in the way of controller right now. I don't know. I really enjoy keyboard and mouse a lot. I'm stuck in my ways. I'm the dinosaur that won't change. Close one. I could probably talk to him to do one more. I don't understand the desire to have me play on the controller though. Because I'm just like less efficient. Just because I'm not used to it really more than anything. I do love, just in general, as an aside, these 8-bit Do controllers. Big fan. Or 8-bit Do, I don't know how do you say it. Bought a second one. They had some big sale recently, it was great. Alright, this has probably been asked, but why are there no Barbarian class? Are Primalist and Sentinel covering that? Yeah, that's kind of the essential behind it, is that when we were initially setting up the class archetypes and the class wheel, that that physical bruiser type class archetype was handled mostly by like Primalist and Sentinels, a lot of stuff in there, because you can play like Druid, you can play in that kind of like as a bear Barbarian. I know it's not quite the same, but there's thematic overlaps there. Also, you can do it with like a single minion on a Beastmaster, and you get similar overlaps there. But you still, it's not quite the pure Barbarian idea. And then Sentinel is, you get that two-handed weapon mastery, and it feels kind of similar, but it's still not quite there. You got that plate armor. You're looking for that like natural raw power. And I think that there's definitely room for a Barbarian class to appear, or Barbarian mastery to appear. Either one, really. Barbarian class would be hard because it's like where do you put the masteries there? I don't know. I'd probably want to be introducing Barbarian more as a mastery than as its own base class, but who knows? There's nothing specific planned about it. It is one of the most commonly requested ones. I don't have enough. Yeah, I don't have enough. And why did like as to answer why didn't it happen? I think it was probably just a little less exciting. I think it's one of those things that it feels like it's being done a lot, and there wasn't a lot of I guess maybe new ideas we had for the class at the time. A lot of the early like in the early days when we were adding classes pretty quickly, we were kind of looking at the filling holes or finding really cool abilities where we're like, this is a sweet ability. Avalanche. Yeah, physical and cold. Look at that phys res garbage, Mike. I've really got to sort out my idols here badly. But yeah, so we've got 2 Aaron's Wills with 1 LP that I've got to put something on. I've got 2 Jorah's Obsessions with 1 LP that I've got to put something on. I've got 2 of these with 1 LP that I got 1 of these. Found this just at the end of playing last night. So excited about this. 2 LP, 1 of these. I have no idea what I'm going to put on that yet. And then a 3, a bunch of 2s. And some backups here. So that's the sort of stuff we're hunting with. I've just got like a big intelligence one I'm considering here. I'm also considering trying to get one more golem, because I can do the +1 maximum skeletons here, and then I could switch my weapon out, which I don't think is a good idea, for a weapon that has +1 max skeletons as a champion affix, and I think that puts me up to up over the limit for one more, but I'm not sure. I think I'm still one short, actually, come to think of it. So never mind, scrap that. How many failed ones are in here? Oh my god, I'm doing so bad. Okay, let's just try it again. Can we expect new bosses for the next season? Maybe an Uber Trex? Also, Uber evolutions would be great with different drops depending on the evolutions. Yeah, we're I think one of the common set of feedback we got from this season was that people wanted more in-game bosses from the game, and we didn't add any in season 3. So that is something that we're looking towards, including in future patches more frequently. Oh, that might be my first 4 LP of the season. I feel like it should have dropped with more fanfare. You fix that filter. Didn't think I'd find one. All right. Hello, Mike. Do you have any news about the secret, like, cow level? Where can we expect it? Secret squirrel level? I think the one that people suggest as something we should do is the secret bee level, mostly. But no, I don't have any info on if that's coming or anything like that. You know, I think it's a pretty easy. We are interested in adding more, things like that. And I think that's the kind of obvious option to do, which isn't terrible. But for now, anyways, there is no secret, what did you say, squirrel level. Hey Mike, any thoughts on putting a memory amber cost to charge the imprints? I think this is probably to change. I think that's what I meant, the imprints in the Weaver tree, so they aren't so busted. And yes, I did put in suggestions. I don't think it's a bad thing that they're powerful, really. Maybe that wasn't changed, maybe that was supposed to be charged. I don't think you could put, because they're like a random drop, I don't. Okay, I think I've distilled what this question's about. Is it suggesting that you pay to trigger it? So you'd be like, it doesn't trigger randomly, but you're just like, I just want to trigger it, and I just go pay. Or it's cost to change the imprint. Okay. I don't think that's. Oh. Whoops. Apparently my phone's back there. Sorry. What was I saying? Oh yeah, charging to change it. I think that would be awkward. I think people would be hesitant to change it, and you'd end up getting a lot of drops from old things. I think part of a big part of the design around the imprinting system is that you can change it. It's like when one drops, like you're trying to go from like item A to item B, and you've got and so you imprint item A in, and a little bit better, like a little bit closer along the spectrum to B drops, and then you imprint B, and then a little bit closer to the spectrum along the B drops, you imprint it. Then like just as you get a little bit better, those imprints keep happening. And I think that process of incrementally increasing the what's in the imprinting is really important to maintain. Gonna turn that off all the way. Hope that wasn't super loud on stream. My mom's just here, but my wife's got it. Don't worry, it was loud. Great. All right. Hey Mike, how goes the hiring for new roles? I've not been involved in it at all. So I don't have any inside info here, but there are quite a few new faces around the Slack, and they've been doing great. If anyone is new and is listening from on the team and everything, great job. Yeah, it's been we've got like a bunch of new faces, and it's been a ton of fun, and yeah, it's been great. I haven't been I got the hires for things that I was working on was done just before everything happened, so I'm not getting more people for like the stuff I'm working on right now, which is understandable and expected. Which is why I'm not involved in it. Did I skip I think I skipped one, whatever. We survived. That's all that matters. What projects, changes, updates is the team most looking forward to accomplish with additional resources? Secret projects that we can't talk about yet, I think is the a lot of it, really. You know, stuff for like future seasons, getting large projects spun up for future seasons is something we've been starting to do for a while now, and you know, getting ahead of the ball on some things so that we can get bigger projects out in like season time. That's one of the big issues with season 3 was that it was, I think there was criticism of it not being quite enough, and you know, we didn't have a ton of the like the typical like Endgame content stuff prepped really far ahead of time. So we're, you know, just getting more stuff in the pipeline so we can bring more stuff to each season. I think it's the biggest thing, really. I hurt my ankle playing hockey a little over a week ago. Very first game of the season, like an idiot, went into the boards, bent over backwards. Wearing a foot brace, so if you see me fidgeting, because the foot brace does not feel great standing up. Luckily though, almost healed. Went and got an x-ray a couple days ago just to make sure. Not broken, very pleased. He thought it was broken. He did a little like examination on it. He's like, I think it's broken. We're gonna get an x-ray to make sure. But it wasn't. That's good. Just a lot of soft tissue damage. All right. Will we ever get traditional Chinese update? Yeah, I think because we do already support simplified Chinese, I think it's unlikely that we would be adding a traditional Chinese version before we add in, you know, like there's other languages that are still missing that are pretty prominent languages too. So I think we'd be more interested in getting some additional regions, you know, into the fold first before we start expanding something like that. But it's possible eventually. I just I don't want to get your hopes up on anytime soon, really. We are still also working on improving the quality of the localizations that we do have. So, you know, getting the process improved in general, and also just improving the quality of what we have. Yeah, really important. The bug report system even is very handy in game, awesome, but it often feels empty because we can't follow or track any one bug, nor can we search for current known bugs. Content creators are resorting to making videos or posting it on Reddit to get attention. What is the current state of the bug nest, and how is the issue been handling the volume? I mean, it's good. There's I don't have like a number to compare it to be like there were this many bugs pending at this point in the season, like last season or something like that. I don't have that number to like directly compare it to it. It feels like it's improving to me. I do get a little frustrated sometimes with the like I'll go on Reddit sometimes and be like, and I'll see complaints of like, oh, this thing's been broken for years, and I go and check it, and I'm like, no, it's not. Should have been more careful there. 6 damage. Oof. But yeah, there are still some long-standing ones that do need to be dealt with. Quite often when there is a situation like that, it's because like we don't have enough information yet to fix it. And sometimes what we'll do is we'll put in we'll actually put in like logs in the code in the game, so that when the issue happens, or when we think the issue is going to happen, we'll get a bunch of information that's spat out in the logs. So when people do use the in-game bug reporting system and they send us the logs about it, we get extra information specifically around that problem. That's sort of the strategy we used for collecting more information about it. The reason we don't do a follow-up on them and like maintaining a public list for it and all that sort of stuff is it's just like more manpower. Oh my goodness, I need to pay attention better. It's just like a list. It's another thing to manage, and it's another thing that we're taking resources away from fixing bugs. So it's sort of like, yeah, we could potentially do something like that, but it means that likely I think we'd get fewer bugs fixed overall, and I could be wrong about that. But you add more tasks into the pipeline, and you get less out of it. All right. We're gonna do better this time. Sorry if I missed the answer last week. Can we expect more primal items regularly? I love the fun new builds they create. Regularly might be a stretch. I mean, technically every time we add a new affix, we add a new primordial. Sorry, primordial. In kind of a roundabout way that doesn't really count, I guess. But yeah, I think we will be adding more. I wouldn't expect a lot more frequently. So I think we've hit most of them. Most of the archetypes and the like exalteds as a nice fallback. It's still possible that we could add a few more, but I wouldn't expect like every season to come with like here's like the host of new primordial uniques coming this season. I wouldn't expect that like as a seasonal like regular thing. More along the lines of like here's one or two every once in a while sort of thing. Yeah. Any chance for new minion uniques or sets for Primalist? I find them lacking outside of the few we have. Yeah, there's always a chance. I think there's we are looking at new uniques and sets. We've just been doing some review on those this morning actually. So yeah, there's new and like any new skills we add will come with new uniques as well. Feel like I am in the thick of things and right on the edge of death frequently right now. Oh, they're on defensive, not aggressive. That's what's going on. Get out there and deal with the problems I have, minions. Yeah, you can clearly see the engage range difference with the golem there, though. All right. Hello, Mike. How are you today? I'm good. Feeling good. Yeah, feeling real good. Yeah, I don't know. There's not really a lot going on right now. But just feeling good in general. I did get something that I pitched recently approved, which I'm very excited about. That's great. Hey Mike, do you have any plans to fix the annoying problem of skill points randomly, they're not random, resetting from specialization when replace a piece of equipment? I think it's an issue that we do need to address. There is a pattern to it though, that I can tell you right now if you'd like to, if you'd like to try and anticipate what it is and be able to put them back easier. So what's a good example here? This one's plus 3 to all minion skills. Okay, I think we can predict all 3 points in all 3 skills. Let's try. Okay, they're all gonna come out of here. For this one, they're all gonna come out of Reapers. This one, they're gonna come out of 1, 2, 3. We're gonna have 2 out of this one and 1. No, it'll be 2 out of this one and 1 out of this one. They're all. We're gonna get 2 out of this one and 1 out of this one. And we're gonna get 2 out of this one and 1 out of this one. Let's see how I do. Yeah, 1, 2. Oh no, I messed up. I did lose one else somewhere else. Dang it. Didn't quite get it perfect. That's okay. Well, proving your point here. I guess it was right there probably. No, it would have been there. I don't know where it was. It was there actually. 1, 2. Oh, 3's down there. That makes more sense actually. I didn't see that node. 1, 2, and 3. So I'm not quite right. This one I got right. So what it is it looks for 5 of 5 nodes. And it starts taking from a 5 of 5 node first. So it went this one node first, and then it went this node, and then it was like, okay, now there's no 5 of 5s. Is there a 4 of 5 anywhere? Yes, 4 of 5. Okay, take it out of this one. And so it looks for the highest allocated point nodes near the center. And then if you imagine it like a clock, it starts at 12 and goes counterclockwise. And that's not perfect, and that actually falls apart with newer trees, but in older trees anyways, it does it in that order. So hopefully that helps a little bit. But I do think that there's a better way we could handle it. It's in order to try it. It's combating a problem that doesn't really need combating that badly, and it's likely just causing more issues than it needs to. There is a UX thing we could do to that. I don't know what it is, but there is some way we could make that better, and we should do that. There's the chance not to consume a potion. I was trying to figure out where that was. I'm like, I know it's somewhere. Okay. This is bad. Still bad. It's okay though. You want to play some? I don't really know what I want to place here. Let's do a Nemesis one right there. And do one of these. It's good. All right. Next one. One of my favorite things from older ARPGs like D2 or Dungeon Siege, nice. Where was where items that gave bonus levels to skills gave them to specific passive nodes, often letting you go beyond the maximum on those. Are there any plans for uniques that do something similar in the future? We've talked about this quite heavily, actually. And what it comes down to is it's a little... the short answer is no, we're not going to do that. However, when we do want to have that effect, we just put the effect of that node on the item. So there are certain items that have the same effect as a unique, as a node in the game, and it's the same. It's the exact same thing where you say like, okay, it's this node, but you just slap the effect of that node on the item. And the reason we do it that way is so that the information about what that item gives you is on the item itself and isn't on a third spot that you have to go look for that information. So it's not like if there was an item that said, like this is +1 maximum skeleton, and then you go into your summon skeleton tree, which is over here, and there's like this node right here. So it's like if it said +1 to marrow walkers above the cap in your summon skeleton tree, then you have to be like, okay, open the skill tree, go find summon skeleton, find the marrow walkers node, and then figure out what that means from that node itself. And the node doesn't have all the information because the node assumes you cap out at a certain number, and like it's a little bit of this like going to another location to find the information. So instead we can just put what that thing does on the item directly. All right, next question. Why you guys don't encourage support playstyle? Well, I think we do. Like why I can't have fun with my friends. We all carry the true support that boosts damage and defenses. Yeah, I think we put a lot of incentives in ways that you can do damage yourself, but we do try to put a lot of support options in the game. Specifically around, like, I think Paladin is the most traditional support character option available because you have like direct heals, you have auras, there's lots of area denial, there's stun effects, there's lots of CC, there's lots of elements you can apply, things like that. Then you get into more of a less traditional support class where you can play Warlock really supporty, where you're just like, how many ailments can I apply? I mean, there's lots of opportunities to take personal advantage of those things you're doing anyways, so you can start to damage yourself. There's almost no way to build a character that is optimal and has no damage output themselves. So like I can see how the opportunity to do damage yourself might take away a little bit from the feeling of being a support class. And I mean, like I've had a lot of fun building and playing like a support rogue. I think that's underrated. Because you can give out a lot of offensive and defensive stuff through a lot of utility. So you can generate haste for everyone. Really, like you can just give your team haste all the time, which is awesome. And you can also you can control area with like decoy for aggro, so you can keep things off people. There's lots of crit vulnerability buffs you can put on, so you can make up the crit of everyone else. I think there's a lot of things you can do if you really want to focus on support. It's not really optimal to go pure support, which I think is kind of a drawback for some people for it, and I can understand that one. But we're frequently looking to add more support options. I think one of the issues we want to avoid is having a situation where the optimal team setup is like one person doing damage and the rest of the team is just like three people just literally standing there doing nothing. That I think would be an issue. If that was like what's the best ranked team setup possible? If that was the case, that would be an issue. All right. Hi Mike, do you guys have any plans for forever expanding the roster of skills for each mastery? Can we talk about a 10 skill mastery in some future, or we get other ways to expand? Wink. No, there is room to expand these. Like I talk about this frequently. Like there's room in the UI. There's room in the UI. Like Mage already has an extra one in this category. There's room in here to add more as well. Like we've definitely left room, and there's ways we've talked about expanding that even further, even if we do run out of room there. So yeah, the limit for how many skills are available on each mastery class is more of a individual case-by-case design limit. So you know, adding in, there's only room for so many physical bow attacks to exist on marksman, you know. There's only room for so many, and have them still feel unique and interesting, because sometimes they're just like, well, this is very similar to that other thing, or like with one of the conversion nodes on this skill, it basically feels like that other skill, so what's the point of having both of them in the game? So I think because the skill trees are so flexible, that's what kind of limits the number of skills per class more than anything. And also just time to implement, really. So we're going to keep adding them. There's room to add them more. We're more focusing on the ones that don't have as many as other classes right now, just because they'd likely have more design space to work with, and people like things being evenly distributed, I think. Ooh, what? Yes! Oh my god. Okay, now I've got to find a really good chest. What is going on? It took me so long to find one of these. Ah! That's great. That's so great. I can, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I don't even know what I'm going to put in there now. Oh, okay, I know what I have to do though first. Oh, it's already got 2, isn't it? It's already got 2 in there. Oh, I'm doing this one. Yeah, 2 counts. Great. 2 counts. Good. Okay. Whew. All right. Feeling good. Are you excited for MTG Spider-Man pre-release today? It's today. I had no idea it was today. That's how excited I am for it. Additionally, I know the LE in-game TCG has been joked / talked about on stream before. I'm kind of curious, if the creation of cards and TCG format wasn't a factor, how possible could an LE in-game TCG be? It is one of my dreams to make a like an in-game TCG for Last Epoch. That would be a dream come true to have happen. That'd be incredible. Second half of that dream is to be involved in making that myself. You know, like I spent a ton of time playing like the Final Fantasy games growing up, and all of the mini games that go with those. I love them so much. Like none of them are super complicated or tough, really, but they're a ton of fun. And the Final Fantasy 9, the Terra Master, and like 10 Blitzball, and you have games like Gwent in The Witchers, and things like that. I love those types of mini games. I think they're a ton of fun. They bring character to the world, and so yeah, I really want to see that at someday. I have no idea if it's ever going to happen. I hope it does. You know, keep asking for it if you want it. I'll do my best to make it happen. I cannot promise anything about it, unfortunately, but I would love to. I think that'd be amazing. And yeah, my desk right now is just like stacks of Magic cards, just like all over the place, because I ripped apart. Okay, it was just a bunch of lands. I ripped apart this many decks, and I've been rebuilding them, and I've been building them all from scratch again. Couldn't leave that sitting on the floor. They're just basics, but all right. Any hints for next season theme? I got nothing. I got. Yes, I do actually. I forgot. Huh. I totally forgot. I actually got approved to show something. I have some early concept art that I have cropped heavily that I'm allowed to show you little pieces of. That's all I got for you today. I'm sorry. I wish I had more. So here is a small piece of a concept art that is coming for next season's content. Who knows what it is? It could be anything. I'm gonna stick that in the corner and keep playing. That is not Oribus. I'll squash that one right now. Saw a comment there right away. That's the only guess I'm gonna confirm or deny though. All right, hey Mike, any news about Minion Totem DPS not showing in the tooltips? No, not yet, I'm sorry. We were really trying to have that ready for this season. As you can see, we failed to get that in, unfortunately. But it is still on our wish list. Did you not even like... It was like not even good enough to show you. Okay, we're gonna stick this in. Try and get a 2 LP. We still don't have a 2 LP one of these, which is frustrating. All right, you mentioned endgame bosses. Where do you think future endgame bosses should be difficulty-wise? Good question. Like, are we talking harder than Uber Aberoth? Since my opinion, they're such a big empty space between normal and Uber Aberoth that could be filled with lots of other static content before necessarily needing to go above Ubi. But also power creep is a thing, and maybe people would be like, man, more easy content. Yeah. You've done, yeah, yes. I don't really know what else to say to that other than, yep, good comment. There's a gap. I think there's a few places and reasons we need more bosses. Stepping stones as difficulty spikes in content for bosses is really good. So, you know, like people going through the campaign, you get to Lagon, it's really hard, and sometimes you struggle on it, and you gotta try it again, and like then you overcome it. And that overcoming it is great. You know, you get to Aberoth the first time, you struggle a couple times, you eventually you go back, you gear up some more, you come back, you beat it again, great. And yes, you're absolutely right. There's a big gap between Aberoth and Uber Aberoth. And so, yeah, and there are people who are getting to Uber Aberoth super easily and just crushing it. And, you know, I think there's a lot of space for fixed difficulty content bosses in multiple places, in the above and below regular Aberoth right now, very clearly. There's probably eventually also room for above Uber Aberoth as well. I don't know the answer to this. I don't know where the next fixed difficulty content boss is going to sit difficulty wise. If you were to tell me to pick somewhere right now and be like, Mike, where do you want it? I would want it in between Aberoth and Uber Aberoth. That's where I would want. If I was given the ability to design one of them right now and I had to pick right now, I would put it in between the two, I think. And to be clear, I'm not in charge of deciding this at all. So, I think the reason for that being is that that's the biggest gap right now. And there's still it's still pretty rare for people to get to Uber Aberoth in a season. Like there's a lot of people that are doing it, but, in the grand scheme of things, it's still pretty rare. And having a place for people to be able to get improvements to their character after Aberoth, before Uber Aberoth, from fixed difficulty content that they can overcome and have a challenge to work towards while they're gearing up as well, I think is really important to basically incentivize fun in that process. Incentivize might be the wrong word, just to make fun in that process. Because beating a boss that's tough, that you struggle with, I find that fun anyways. Let's do this. I don't want to sit here for a while. Looking at it. Warpath, go! Charge! Activate it all! Ah! Then remember you're at 300 corruption and you're struggling and almost die. Alright. That's better. Don't need any of that stuff. Making some changes to that process next season too. /testing. No, I'm sure you give volunteers today. Could get volunteers today to help. Yeah. So part of a big part of the problem is that a lot of those the place that a lot of those bugs happen is farther down the list of like. I don't know how to. I'm gonna try and draw something. Oh yeah, look who I saw. I loaded up just before the start of the stream. Look who I saw. So. Oh no, are we down? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? You must defeat the shade to save me. How's YouTube doing? Oh, we're back? Don't listen to Mike. I'm muted still? Can you hear me? Papa, can you hear me? Okay, no, can't hear me. Great. I'm gonna restart the stream. We're gonna restart the stream.